What's good, YouTube? Runick's YGO here to showcase another pretty successful tournament run. I'm really happy to share I did it again with Runick White Forest. It was pretty fun, and we participated in the Cosmic Clash Reloaded number 9, and we ended up going 9th place. I was really happy to get there to 9th place. It was my first time making top cut. We ended up going 2-1, 2-1, and then just getting blown out 0-2 in the top 16. But at that point, I was just happy to have made it in the top cut. So, yeah, in the end, it was a total of 3 duels. And shout out to MC Midoriya, who's a really good duelist. He ended up winning first with, I believe, Gimmick Puppet. But yeah, this was a really fun tournament. I'd love to showcase the deck. No changes recently to the deck, just small ratio changes, but I am really liking how the deck ran. I did have some bricks during the tournament. 3 games I actually bricked pretty badly, but other than that, the deck runs really well as a strong control deck. The only addition I've added on was Typhon. Typhon really comes in handy as an anti-boss monster, just to, you know, bounce it back. It's really strong, and I have some games to show you with that. But yeah, I will link the Master Duel Meta's deck builder if you guys are interested on the build. It's constantly changing, but as for now, this is what I use for the tournament. I hope you guys enjoy my replays. For the breakdown, we're gonna actually go a little bit different. I typically show my replays going first. We're gonna show going second because it's inherently harder to go second and then going first. I have a 1 replay or so with that, and then just showcase the tournament. For the theme of this White Forest Runick replays, I'd like to say you don't need Fountain to play the deck. The White Forest engine can play by itself when Fountain gets banished. You're gonna see in certain replays that Fountain wasn't needed. White Forest did all the work. Of course, they can coexist and can really be oppressive, but they can definitely independently play without each other. So for our first duel, we're fighting Mathmech. So I'm not too experienced with them, but I do know a little bit of their choke points. So as they do, they get their starter and they summon. And since I have 2 imperms, it's not that bad. I do have full combo here with Sylvie. So we negate this because I don't want them to add to their hand. I know the true negate that you should go for is the XYZ, but since we had 2 imperms, I might as well think to myself that let's not give them a card to their hand. And they go into an XYZ here, and this is the card I believe you have to negate here. And well, I thought they would probably pass here, but unfortunately they still continue. They normal summon their Ash Blossom, which obviously shows that they're, I guess, desperate for a play. But they do go full combo here somewhat. Still, you know, Link summoning like crazy. So let's just skip their turn and just show what they end off on. Which is not bad, actually. They end up with their boss monster. You make it 5,000 attack. So they did send Cyber's the save worm. It is a interrupter for us. When your opponent activates a spell, trap, or effect, while you control Link 4 or higher, you can banish this card and negate the activation. So they do have that and 1 set card. So in our turn drawing, just to show you guys my mindset, we drew evenly. So obviously I'm going to use evenly here. So we go to battle phase here and we just throw evenly down, go to main phase 2, and as we're full combo, I want to try to bait. This is where you have to play smart with your cards. We have a woes here already. So if you normal summon Sylvie, they won't know, or they'll maybe try to interrupt Sylvie here. And they do send something. So we get an interruption. They do send that. We get woes. So we have 2 copies of that. They target 1 card in the field and negate it. I guess they had nothing else to throw away at that point. So it's negated, but we already have its effect used. We summon Hugin here. And we hope to get baited here. We pitch, and they let us get Runick Fountain. We set. They do try to negate us from getting woes, which is a smart play. But unfortunately, we do have the second woes for them. So fortunate for us. Go into Rusilla here. Send Runick Fountain. The reason we send Runick Fountain here is we don't have any Runick cards, so we're not going to draw from that. We need the woes because we're going to just mainly use our engine with White Forest. So we get Rusilla here. We synchro into Diabell. Now, typically I would get either Fountain, but since our plays have been interrupted and we do not have woes, and they only have 1 card in their hand and 1 card on the field, mind you, while I was playing this, didn't show that they had anything, but on my 5th summon with Rusilla, I knew they already had Nibiru here. So I was trying to play carefully for them to not Nibiru me. And because of this, I still synchro into Visa's Amitara. They let all of this go through. And finally, we go into Typhon. Now Typhon, I don't know if you guys know about its effect. While this card is XYZ summoned, neither player can activate monster effects with 3,000 or more attack. Nib is 3,000 attack. So now, at this choke point, it was too late for them to try to nib. In addition, since this is more than 3,000 attack, we bounce that back. They have 1 card left. We have 1 Synchro 10, 1 Omni Negate, 1 Imperm or Monster Negate. So that's 3 interruptions plus boss monsters over 3,000 attack can't activate effects. So we're looking pretty controlling right now. They send the Nibiru here, and since that's their only card left, I negate that so they don't add anything. And they end phase here. So at this point, we're controlling the game, and they just... Really good example of why Typhon is a strong card and can get rid of problematic monsters. For this second duel, I believe we're just fighting normal Kashtira. Going off, opponent Pot of Extravagance, and we just let it through because we don't know what they're playing. So it was a mixture of Shining Sarcophagus Kashtira. We negate this. This was a pretty gritty fight, to be honest. They have Future Silence, Gadget Trio to search, and just letting them play. They end their turn. So in this game, since we have Fountain, we just play Fountain right away. We summon Elzet, get rid of our extra copy of Freezing Curses. That's when they negate Elzet. So with this play now, we summon Gary, because we have to normal summon Elzet at this point. We have not used our normal summon, but yes. We also tried to draw 2. Unfortunately, it got Ash Blossom. This game is already getting pretty gritty. Normal summon. Let's go into Little Knight here, because I want to get rid of Shining Sarcophagus. That is their win zone. The reason we go into SP Little Knight, in my mind, is because they have 3 cards left. Shining Sarcophagus is their card that enables all their effects. In addition, we have 2 Runick cards in the graveyard, so we want to try to draw, hoping they will normal summon her. Which they do. Summon Typhon. go to battle phase and smash me. Smash again. Fortunately, at end phase, we just wanted to try to draw. Oh, my mistake. We just summoned Hugin, hoping to draw a starter. This was kind of a not ideal hand because reframing, you almost never want to see it in your hand. But it is something to discard, that's why. So, we try to destroy Typhon in hopes to draw. And unfortunately, I believe we draw a really bad hand. There's nothing we can do here. So we just set evenly, pretending it's something when it's not really. I don't know if the opponent also bricked, but with 4 cards in their hand, I was surprised they didn't really do much with that. Maybe it's because we got rid of Shining Sarcophagus. But yeah. They are slowly getting stronger, and we pass. Which is really bad. These are all non-engine, so it didn't feel so good. So I evenly here, just because that's all I could do. Another really awful draw. So this was a really bad game, and we have to set. We have 200 life points left. As it's getting stronger, they Harpy's Feather Duster us. This is not looking good. I really thought I might as well just quit. But obviously we try not to quit. Just keep playing. I'm praying to get a White Forest card, and we finally got it. So we normal summon Sylvie. Grab Woes. Set 3. That's all we can do. Opponent has a 5,000 attack monster. Tries to swing. Go for Woes. They max C. We call by the Grave deck just because we're gonna attack a lot. Or sorry, summon a lot. We summon, I believe, a Stellar because we have LZ already. Synchro into Silvera. Chain 1 Silvera, chain 2 LZ to chain block. We set Silent Swordsman. And they end set 1 pass. Drawing a pretty all our Runick or White Forest cards. Really useful. We attack because they have double piercing. And they evenly match us. Thankfully we had reframing, because that would have been the end of us. They do negate that. I just summon into Diabell here. And we get back reframing. The reason we get back reframing here is because we're late in the game and we want to negate anything that they try to do to us. We go into Visas Amitara and then they Nibiru us. So this game is very greedy. They still don't have anything, and we just summon Sylvie, and they end, just because they end. When Runick Fountain fails, you go into your White Forest engine. Now for going first now. We are fighting Tenpai here, and this is with the new ban list for January 2025. And our hand is pretty standard. If anything gets negated at this point, though, our hand is really bad. We ideally want to end on Fountain and then Maxi for the opponent. So we summon Hugin here to try to bait by discarding Fusion Substitute. It apparently goes through. So on main phase 1, we Runick Fountain, we do tip to get Dispelling. Now the reason we go Dispelling in my mind is because I'm gonna draw 2 from this, and Or I chose to go first, and when I saw... I always just assume it's Tenpai. Once I saw DD Crow, because I don't see much other decks use it other than Tenpai. So, they get our tip. We draw one. I'm hoping they get a White Forest card. Fortunately, we have to pass like this. So on draw phase, I chain right away to do Maxi. They do a Raigeki here. I slumber because I was gonna use slumber just to mill anyways. And what do you know? We got their Chandra. Their only Chandra is banished, making this game already very difficult for them to OTK without Chandra. They summon Dora Dora. I had two options here for them to either add and I rip a card, but I didn't want them to possibly get played still. So we negate that. Still negated. Battle phase. Attack. So at end phase, we try to summon Hugin again because we want to draw. So we draw 2. Our hopes is try to get Hugin into the graveyard for fusion substitute. So hoping to draw, we draw Rushia. The Rushia, they affect Baylor right away. And honestly, that should be fine because I wasn't going to use the effect anyways. We go into Rusilla here. Rusilla sending that. We fusion substitute to draw an extra card, and it's evenly. So we are just summoning to try to link climb. Synchro climb, my mistake. And we draw another 2. We summon Elza to throw Fountain, because Fountains are only spell or trap that we can reset, and mind you, Fountain is not once per turn. It does say once per turn, but you could still use it again if you have a Runick card and you re-summon or reactivate Runick Fountain. Special summon Rusia, and we get Nibiru here. Sounds bad, but we still have a play. Not the best play, but we had to still try to get our Fountain back. So I was a little worried to try to get OTK'd. So we still go into Diabell here, and then we end here. So ideally this is not a good turn, but with Diabell we just have one Synchro interruption here. Synchro 10 interruption. They smash into us. In phase 2, end phase. We send back Rusia, or Diabell, to get Rusia, and then Elzet's effect. Come back to our hand to try to attempt to Synchro climb. Normal summon Sylvie. Get Impermed here. That's totally fine, because we still have full combo. Full combo to go into Diabell, of course. We send evenly because we have evenly in our hand. And they surrender. It was pretty difficult for them to get any engine because Chandra got banished. So our hand is actually really, really good. Like, we have starters. Of course, if Stellar goes and gets negated, we could still play with this hand. But we have Called by the Grave, so we weren't that worried. We summon a Stellar to get Sylvie. Sylvie gets us Woes. Since I saw their screen went red, I knew it was free to go for tip here to get Fountain. And then back-to-back games in my ranked games, I got Chandra sniped and banished, again making it difficult for our opponent to play. So we summon Hugin here to draw 2. 3, my mistake. They bell us and we Called by the Grave that. We could have still played without the 3, but you know, it's icing on the top. Okay, draw. We summon into Rusilla. Rusilla sends Woes. Woes gets Elzet. Or, sorry, we get Elzet. And then the effect of Graveyard as Stellar, when a monster effect that sends a spell or trap to the graveyard, you could special summon this card. So we set Woes, get a Stellar, and we can Synchro Climb. Same time we send Fountain because that's the only card we're gonna get back. Diabell here, get us Fountain. Mind you, we have Reframing already, so we can go into a set other way to Synchro Climb. We send the Woes to go a little bit more greedy here, and even though we have one set already, we didn't need the draw, but I wanted to draw. Okay, so for this interruptions here, we have a Synchro 10, we have 2 Omni Negates, Baron and Reframing, 1 Book of Eclipse, and 1 Runick card to rip a card from their hand. So that's in total 5 interruptions with 4 cards in their hand, with Chandra already negated. Banished. So they play Heavy Storm, we discard that, or we protect, and then I wanted to destroy Sangan Summoning right here from this because I didn't want them to possibly play a monster and I can't interrupt them. So we negate the Sangan Summoning. Opponent plays Dora Dora, adds a card to their hand. They try to special summon the card that was added. I tried to snipe it with Dispelling. I end up getting the right card, but they had the different cost. So they still summon. I draw 1, and at this point we still have a negate and Book of Eclipse and Synchro 10. So as they're trying to special summon here, I actually send back Diabell to lose my Synchro 10 because I'm gonna set their whole field face down. So they can't Synchro. Card set, and they pass. So we still have combo to go back into Diabell. So we send Fountain because we have no Synchro cards. Effective Stellar. Go back into Diabell here. Get back Woes just in case they try to smash us. Destroy the set card. Synchro into Tri-Edge. Draw 1, and 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner goes into Chaos Angel to banish that other set card with only 1 card in their hand left. In this turn, we have a Synchro 10, make all Synchro cards unaffected by activated monster effects, a Imperm monster negate, 1 Omni negate, 2 hand traps, and a Book of Eclipse again. In total, that's 7 disruptions. We send back Baron here because we already used its negate, and with Mandem Reframing, we can actually negate and destroy now. They summon Hydra, I Imperm, negating it. And they scoop. Really strong control deck and amazing White Forest plays. Now, going into this tournament, unfortunately I could not get game 1 and 2. Just note that in game 1 I lost, and then game 2 they scooped because I just had too strong of a board. We are fighting Paleos, almost 60 card Paleo. It was very difficult, but we managed to win. I believe they went first because we lost the first round, asked to go first, won the second round, and here is the third round as they wanted to go first. Opponent tries to discard one to draw two, and honestly, I don't want them to draw. In my experience, I just want to try to get rollback transaction not in their hand. Unfortunately, little did I know it's already in their hand. So I tried to negate that, and they set one pass. I thought this was gonna be pretty good. Evenly is unfortunately in my hand. I really wish they had more to set, but unfortunately, this is all they played. So I said to myself, well, we're just gonna have to get change plans without evenly and go into our White Forest combo. So we summon Hugin here, same plays. Discard evenly, get Fountain. They have one card set, so I thought it's a full field day here. Go into Ursula, same thing, discard Woes, get LZ, Woes gets set. LZ, I will send Fountain, get a Stellar, special summon Rusia, go into Diabell. Diabell gets us back Fountain, chain to get Sylvie to send back Ursula, synchro into Visa Samitara, set. So, in this, we have a total of 4 interruptions. Synchro 10, Omni Negate, and Woes. My mistake, 3. Opponent's turn. They, again, discard one to draw. So at that point, I saw them already put rollback transactions, so I said to myself, you know what, let's go for it. They're probably not going to attack, so let's just send Woes and then Formula Synchron. Chain with Woes, and they then roll back transactions to unfortunately destroy everything by this tribute and destroy all cards in your phone. They go into Typhon here, they just attack us. It's not looking good, and I honestly thought it was over, but you know, since we're in a tournament, let's play it out. We use Rusia's graveyard effect, send Diabell, and then effective LZ to be brought back to our hand. It's not completely over, but it's not looking good. We normal summon a Stellar. They Book of Moon us. I use the effect of LZ to get back Sylvie, set Woes, and then they truly Book of Eclipse us. Not looking good for us, but I still had to play. Go into Gary here. Gary, let's get us back Fountain. Synchro into Little Knight because I had to get rid of Typhon before it attacks us. Very grindy game. Very much respect to this player. They have another transaction rollback. I really thought this is gonna be the end. They attack, they destroy, and then they transaction rollback. They use evenly against us. Now, you may have wondered why I chose Stellar is because we could still synchro play here, because a Stellar can come back from the graveyard once we summon Rusilla. I misplayed here. I should have just kept Little Knight, but unfortunately this is how I played it. So we summon Fountain, they transaction rollback again to destroy everything. I continue to misplay, thinking that this would protect, but Hugin does not protect when it's included to be destroyed. So another misplay here. We summon Sylvie to get Woes. That's all I could do. If only I kept Little Knight, I could have possibly lived and attacked. They send transaction rollback back, and this card is MVP Laundry Dragon Maid because they continuously use the effect. So I needed to summon as quick as I can to get something out, and I synchro into Silvera to try to attack and just end the game. But they did Dragon Maid Tidying to return it. It's gonna get returned anyway, so I was trying to just attack for a game. But it got bounced back, and they threatening roar us. Cannot attack, so I just end phase. They synchro into Paleo. That's Anomalo. They try to destroy the pop card, so we just summon at this point. This is gonna get destroyed. And yeah, they're really grinding this deck. This card really came in handy, this Dragon Maid. They attack. Go into Downward Magician. Go into Zeus. I really thought that's it. This game's over. I got evenly. I go into Typhon. Typhon coming in clutch again. 3000 monster. Or sorry, cannot activate their effect to chain me. So I bounce back Zeus. They threatening roar us. And still summon Candina. Summon Dragon Maid again, which is crazy. Go into a Pabina. Banish by Typhon. Attack me. And I just have evenly in my hand. This was super stressful on stream, but I go for my play here. Special LZ. Effective a Stellar to come back. Synchro, Silvera, these cards are unaffected due to this effect. This card is unaffected by other monster card effects, so nothing was flipped face down. You go into Diabell here, get Fountain back, and knowing they only have 900 life points left, I try to attack, and that's the only card I could attack. They go in defense mode and set 1. Pass. I have Imperm, and I go to battle phase, and that was all said and done. We smashed, we won. That was super difficult, but that was super fun too. So this came to show you, you don't always have to have Fountain on the field to play. White Forest is sufficient enough to do their plays. So for the second round of playing, we were forced to go first, and I already knew that they were Tenpai. So something cool, they are actually playing a tech type of Tenpai. They're playing Sky Striker Tenpai. Very interesting. We go first, and honestly, this is what I meant. We bricked hard in this game. We have multiple copies that you, especially with Flashing Fire, we only could use it once per turn, this Flashing Fire. If this gets negated, there's nothing much we can do here. We have Reframing. This was a really, really awful hand. I even misplay, thinking because 2 Called by the Graves would have been helpful, but because we had only 1, I thought it would be useful still Reframing, but since I don't have a synchro, you can't really use Reframing. So opponent goes into Hydra, summons Chandra, and I already knew this is over. Now someone did tell me if I had another Called by the Grave, I could possibly live another turn. So it was my mistake to send the other copy of Called by. Because we stopped that. They summon Genroku. And if I had the second Call by the Grave, I would have possibly stopped their play. Instead, they go crazy here and just attack. And that was just a quick game 1. Mistake on my part, but that was also a really bad hand. Going on the round 2, that's my first loss. Now, this hand was a lot better. Ideally, still fine. Sylvie is full combo. Having a Runick card is full combo. So, we start off by letting them go first. Because they're Tenpai. Once I saw that and they summoned, I chained Maxi here. They play Hieratic Seal, set 2 pass. So really, really good hand here. So first thing I do, I go to battle phase and I evenly match them. They have an Imperm here. We normal summon Sylvie. They let that go through. We summon Hugin here. Discard a Stellar because we want a Stellar to the grave. And they Imperm. We synchro into Rusilla here. Send Woes. Set Woes and also chain to get a Stellar. I actually misplayed there. We messed up and forgot misclicked to get Woes. That's one thing I messed up on stream. I was pretty sad, but that's how we played, unfortunately. We send Woes again. And this time we use the effect to set it. Unfortunately, we -1 for that, so my fault. Send Lucia, we get Fountain here. Synchro into Visa Samitara. Have Reframing. Synchro into Baron de Fleur. And with this, we have 1 Synchro 10, 2 Omni Negates, 1 Book of Eclipse, and 1 Hand Trap. So that in total, that is 5 interruptions with 3 cards in their hand. They try to use Engage, and they just quit here. Score is 1-1, and now it is match point. So for match point, they tell us to go. And with our hand, it is actually pretty good. A very strong full combo. And we have Woes already, so we're hoping to possibly get any hand traps baited. First thing we do, we go for Sylvie to try to pop anything or get any hand traps. Nothing. So we go into Hugin here and discard a Woes. They let that go through. We set Woes. Play Fountain, summon Rusilla. Discard to grab Elza. Mind you, I forget this effect, so that's why I like to bring it up. It says here, illusion and spellcaster synchros cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. That's exactly why they did not use Snow Rabbit on us. Try to summon another Hugin to attempt to draw. They Snow Rabbit us here. So we use the effect of Hugin to banish itself, draw 2. Special summon Elza by sending Fountain. We send Fountain here because we don't want them to see our Imperm. Because we could have sent that too and just replaced it. But instead, we go for Fountain. Chain Sylvie, send Rusilla. At this point, it's a pretty standard play. Go into Visa Samitara, knowing it's Tenpai. I want to get some negates. So, this matchup, we have 1 Synchro 10, 1 Omni Negate, 1 monster negate. So that's 3, and a Book of Eclipse. That's 4 interruptions with a 4-card hand. 5-card now. Draw phase. They go for engage here. I want to reframing that because I don't want them to have their 1-card combos. So pretty smart, I believe. They again try to go into getting a token to go into their 1-card combos. So I said to myself, let's get Formula Synchron out. I have no Runick cards anyways. Synchro into Chaos Angel to banish, and then they normal summon Hydra, their starter. We imperm that. So we stop their normal summon and their Sky Striker plays. They end phase. We send Rusia or Diabell back to get Rusia back, and then Elza back to our hand. Normal summon a Stellar, special summon Elzet to set Woes back. Synchro Weasel Amatara into Baron Defleur. Special summon. Go into Rusilla. Effect to send Woes again. Stellar comes back. Go into Diabell. We get reframing here. The reason we want that, we want to Omni Negate with 2 cards left in their hand. And they scoop. We finally made our first top 16 top cut in a tournament. I was very proud of that. And the next games were unfortunately disappointing. So we win the coin flip. So happy to have won the coin flip. I didn't know what deck I was playing against, but unfortunately, we go with this hand. The worst hand that I've ever drew going first. And if anything gets negated, a Runick card, it's over. We wanted Fountain, ideally, and Path with Maxi. We throw evenly because it's useless, and it gets negated. I set Imperm, and that's it. I Maxi. They end phase. Pretty smart of them. Because I was praying to get something good, but I get something even worse. Can't even use it. Same copy. Really bad luck there. I just negate this at that point because I didn't even know what we were playing. I was desperate. Once I saw Gimmick Puppet, I knew it was over. So they go their plays. Now their cards are unaffected. Or I can't respond. I can't even imperm anything. Flashing fire anything. I just watch them play. I don't really have much to say, but I should probably learn how to try to counter Gimmick Puppets. I don't have that much experience with many Yu-Gi-Oh decks. I just know how to play my deck well. But they burn us. And OTK us at this turn. It was pretty impressive, but again, it was a really bad hand, unfortunately. And I believe this is the game. Really bad hand. Now for game 2, back to back, this is really awful. I bricked again. Just drawing a bunch of non-engine. They maxi us, and I Ash Blossom that. I discard Slumber, which was a mistake, but I thought maybe it's because I already used Slumber, so I should just try to negate their effects. So yeah, really bad judgment on my part. But having Slumber, I don't even know what I would draw with 2 cards. So I'm hoping to try to interrupt them and hopefully they can't play. But unfortunately, they have their field spell to get their starter, and I was told I misplayed here that I should have negated the XYZ. At this one, I know that they have cards to make them unaffected, but this is the play I did, and they managed to still get a board. Really should learn how to counter this deck for the future. But yeah, they just battle phase and OT Chaos. So I hope you enjoyed those replays and tournament. It was really fun to play on stream. Again, I really like the deck other than just getting a lot of non-engine and bricking a few times, but going second, that would be completely a different story. It was really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed again. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And just possibly learn more information about playing this deck and playing against other decks. I truly, again, appreciate it. Thank you for your time. And like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good day.